Sagittarius, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. Here we go, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you feel like you've been overthinking your responsibilities, okay? You feel like not only have you been overthinking your responsibilities, but you've been over controlling your responsibilities. So it feels like you are hoping to better manage the day-to-day tasks and quiet those shoulda, coulda, woulda in your head, you know? It feels like in the past you've had trouble with some decision making in regards to overthinking things, and you're finally starting to realize that some of these things that you pine over every little teeny tiny detail, you don't actually have control over every little teeny tiny detail. So it's time for you to stop being in the weeds and worrying about all the little itty bitty stuff and to start thinking about the big picture. So you're hoping to better manage your resources and stop overthinking all those little things so you can actually take a step back and be like, oh, I don't have 15 decisions to make today. I really only have 3. And then everything else is going to fall into place. So yeah, definitely hoping to get out of your head, stop second guessing yourself, and better manage your resources, responsibilities overall. The fear that you have is that the pendulum will swing all the way to the other direction and you will let go of too much and you won't have control over anything. So you won't be able to change, you won't be able to fix, you won't be able to adjust. So it kind of feels like you need to find a good balance somewhere between your work life, your home life, however, between your hopes and your fears, what I'm getting is on one end of the spectrum, you overthink every little detail and it takes up way too much of your time and way too much of your energy and you're exhausted at the end of the day. But the fear is if you let go, you'll just let go of everything. You'll let go of too much and then everything will fall out of your control. So somewhere between the hopes and fears, you need to find that right balance of what do I actually have control over and what's worth my time and energy and what am I trying to control that I really just need to let go of and see where the chips fall, so to speak. That's what I'm getting between your hopes and your fears, is you have to find the balance between the two. The reality of the situation is that you are taking stock of your resources, okay? And I don't want to say that you're lacking new growth. I think you're waiting on the moment to turn this around so you can have hope in new growth, okay? That's why you're counting all your pennies, you're holding on to your resources, you're looking at your schedule. Okay? So you're trying to control the things that you can control in the hopes that an opportunity for new growth will show its face and you'll know exactly where you are, exactly where you stand, and you'll be able to make an informed decision on whether or not to take up this particular opportunity. Resources seem to be a thing for you right now. And it's not like anybody else can do this for you. You have to find the balance in your schedule, in your home and work life. You have to find the balance in maintaining all the responsibilities that you have. You have to balance your checkbook. You have to make your schedule. It's not like you can rely on anybody else for this. This is a very internal reading. I'm getting just your energy. So you feel like you did miss an opportunity at some point. And you missed that opportunity because you were fearing rejection. So there was something. There was a moment when you could have grasped and went in a new direction, and you feared what would happen I almost want to say you feared humiliation in going toward that particular thing. Like I said, it was a fear of rejection that stopped you from going forward to it. And that made you that's what brought you into this overthinking and the not managing your resources properly is you're second guessing, should I, could I, would I? Should I have done this? If I had done this differently, what would happen? And what you're doing is you're creating this anxiety about something that can no longer be changed and an outcome that you don't really understand. So I often warn people in my readings, sometimes they create a pretty picture in their head that's just so beautiful and so perfect that they never bring it into fruition because they're just so scared it'll never be that beautiful and that perfect in their head. It kind of feels like you've created a fantasy around if I had done something different, I would be here right now. But that's just as destructive because you don't know that, you know? Instead of looking forward to say, well, if I do this, then I could get this and it could be perfect. You're looking back, you're saying, you know what? If I had done this, I would be in a better spot. But honestly, you don't actually know that. That's a fantasy that you're holding on to that you kind of need to let go of because I have the moon card in the inverse and it's saying to let go of this illusion. This is what's causing you to overthink these resources and responsibilities is this idea that if you had made this different life change, this different life choice, that your life would somehow be better. But you don't know that for sure. So it's time to let go and just really honestly go back to the reality here. You know, stop, put the pieces of the puzzle together and recognize that reality shows that this is what you have. You have a finite sense of resources. This is where you are. This is what's going on. And there are more opportunities coming down the road. They just have not presented themselves yet. So stop thinking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas because that causes you to overthink, that causes you to second guess, and that might cause that fear of rejection to come out again. So don't focus on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Start looking at the what can I do? What's available to me now? What resources do I have? Take stock of what you have and know where you stand. That way, when the next opportunity comes up, you have a better idea of where you are and you might be able to make better decisions or communicate things better and not miss that opportunity. Sagittarius. This is a rough one. There's a lot of accountability, and I'm probably leaving you with more questions than answers, but I think that's the point of this read. I think the point of the read is to have you really focus on taking stock of where you are, what you have, and what you're working with, and to stop thinking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, Sag, and I'll see you next week.